In a small, remote village nestled between dense forests and jagged hills, there stood an ancient well at the edge of the forest. Locals called it the Whispering Well, because on quiet nights, faint murmurs could be heard emanating from its depths. Most villagers avoided it, believing it to be cursed. But not everyone heeded the warnings. It was a sweltering summer afternoon when Aarav, a curious teenager visiting his grandparents' village for the holidays, stumbled upon the well. He had wandered off during a family picnic, drawn by the sound of rustling leaves and distant whispers that seemed to call his name. "Aarav!" his younger sister Mira shouted as she chased after him. "Where are you going? Dad said not to go too far." "I just want to see what's over here," Aarav replied, brushing aside a curtain of vines. His eyes widened as he saw the moss-covered stones of the well. "Look at this place, it's like something out of a movie." Mira hesitated, clutching her doll tightly. "Grandma says no one should go near that well. Bad things happen to people who disturb it." Aarav rolled his eyes. "Come on, Mira. Those are just old superstitions. Let me check it out." Ignoring her protests, he leaned over the crumbling edge of the well and peered into the darkness below. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the clearing, carrying with it a low, guttural whisper. "Take. Bring closer." Startled, Aarav stumbled backward. "Did you hear that?" he asked, looking at Mira. She nodded, her face pale. "We need to leave. Now." But before they could retreat, Aarav noticed something glinting at the bottom of the well, a golden locket tangled in roots. Against Mira's frantic pleas, he grabbed a nearby stick and fished it out. That night, strange things began happening in their grandfather's house. Doors creaked open on their own. Shadows moved where no one stood, and an unsettling chill lingered in every room. Their grandmother, Dottie, immediately sensed something was wrong. "What did you do today?" she demanded, her voice sharp with worry. Aarav hesitated, but eventually confessed about finding the locket. Daddy's face turned ashen. "You fools! That locket belongs to her, the spirit of the well. She takes what she wants, and now she'll come for you." Aarav scoffed. "It's just a piece of jewelry, Daddy. There's no such thing as ghosts." Dottie sighed heavily. "You'll see soon enough. We must return it tonight, or we'll all pay the price." By midnight, the entire household was awake, unable to ignore the escalating disturbances. The locket lay on the dining table, glowing faintly under the flickering light of a kerosene lamp. Aarav felt a growing sense of unease, though he tried to brush it off as fatigue. Then came the screams. Mira bolted upright in bed, screaming that someone was standing at the foot of her beta woman in tattered white robes, her hollow eyes fixed on the girl. When their father rushed in, there was no one there, but Mira was inconsolable. Meanwhile, Aarav began experiencing vivid nightmares. In each dream, he stood at the edge of the well, staring down into its endless abyss. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. "Give back, give back." And always the figure of the woman loomed behind him, reaching out with skeletal hands. Desperate, the family sought help from Baba Ramdas, the village mystic. Sitting cross-legged in his dimly lit hut, surrounded by incense and sacred artifacts, he listened intently to their tale. "This spirit," he said gravely, "is bound to the well. Long ago she was betrayed and murdered, her body thrown into the depths. Her soul remains trapped, seeking vengeance on anyone who dares take what is hers." "So how do we stop her?" Aarav asked, his bravado faltering. "You must perform a ritual to appease her," Baba Ramdas explained. "Return the locket to the well and offer prayers. Only then might she release you." Under the cover of darkness, the family returned to the well. Aarav carried the locket, his hands trembling. As they approached, the air grew colder, and the whispers became deafening. "Do it quickly," Dottie urged, clutching a bundle of herbs blessed by Baba Ramdas. Aarav stepped forward, holding the locket over the well. Just as he was about to drop it, a chilling wind whipped around them, and the ghostly figure materialized before him. Her face was gaunt, her eyes burning with rage. "Please," Aarav whispered, tears streaming down his cheeks. "I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry." For a moment, the spirit hesitated. Then, slowly, she extended her hand. Aarav dropped the locket into the well, and the ground trembled violently. A piercing wail echoed through the forest. followed by silence. When the family looked up, the spirit was gone. Life in the village gradually returned to normal. The whispers ceased, and the well once again became a forgotten relic of the past. Yet Aarav couldn't shake the memory of that night. Every time he passed the forest, he felt a lingering presence watching him, reminding him of the thin line between curiosity and consequence. As for Mira, she refused to speak of the incident ever again. But late at night, when the wind blew just right, she swore she could still hear faint murmurs drifting from the direction of the well. And so, the legend of the Whispering Well lived on.